Hello everyone, my name is Ramesh Karki and I will be presenting on Labor Management Systems, or LMS, for this class MIS 653 Supply Chain Information Systems. Today I'll be talking about what is Labor Management Systems. I'll show you a model of LMS, talk about its benefits and challenges, the current state of LMS. I'll talk about which level 3 activities LMS supports on the SCORE model, and I'll give you some examples of LMS being used by companies, and we'll end it with some discussion questions. So what is Labor Management System, or LMS? Labor Management Systems is a supply chain execution software system that plans, manages, and reports on labor activities. It's a software that takes employee activity data and reports productivity levels on a group of employees or just individual employees. LMS helps organizations optimize the workforce productivity by finding out how and where the workforce dollars are being spent, and it figures out how to optimize the workforce labor dollars. LMS is mainly used in warehouses or labor-intensive work environments. This is the Labor Management Systems model. Let's start from the top right corner, capturing data. LMS allows you to capture data from labor on 100% of the tasks, and can also capture data by customers, process, or employee. Next is labor standards. LMS allows you to analyze individual performance, which can eliminate supervisor bias and provide a fair and consistent work environment. Next is supervisor action. LMS can help supervisors reward their best employees, and it can also give them a chance to train or educate employees that are falling behind. It can also help assist supervisors in forecasting staffing needs. Next is savings. LMS can help increase productivity. It can drive change in the workplace, increase employee engagement, and it can help lower labor costs, which ultimately increases savings for the company. Benefits of labor management systems. One of the benefits is that it improves the workforce productivity by maximizing the productivity of each employee, and it does this by identifying productivity gaps of that employee. It also improves productivity by helping streamline tasks and operations. Another benefit is that it helps reduce labor costs and saves processing and response times. It can also improve workforce visibility by providing real-time data to better manage and monitor the workforce, and by enabling tracking and monitoring of each employee. Another benefit is that it helps managers and supervisors make better decisions. Because they have real-time data, they can identify key trends sooner, which allows them more time to plan or react. Another benefit of labor management system is that it objectively measures the performance of each warehouse employee, and it can help identify underperforming shifts or workers. Challenges of labor management system. I wasn't able to find too many challenges, but some of them are as follows. According to the article Labor Management Software, The Final Profit Frontier by David Drickhammer, because LMS requires every employee to be monitored and tracked, not all the employees will embrace the job accountability. They may see it as micromanaging. Another challenge is that the effectiveness of the system may not be immediate. It might take some time to see how the system has positively or negatively affected the organization. Another challenge of LMS is that typically warehouse workers or laborers are part of unions, and unions may not like labor management systems because they could see it as dehumanizing, since employees may look like they're being controlled or managed by computers or technology. Another challenge of LMS is that employees may not go along with it because it strays away from their normal work culture that they have become accustomed to. So what is the status of labor management systems today? Labor cost is almost always the highest expense item in a warehouse or distribution center's budget. According to the article Labor Management Systems Logistics Insight Asia by Bob Treblecock, an effective implementation of LMS has been known to increase productivity by 15 to 35%. And according to the article Labor Management Systems to Improve Efficiency by Maida Napolitano, LMS can help cut operating costs by up to 15%, and businesses can get a return on investment within 9 to 16 months. But companies still opt not to implement LMS while they are still implementing warehouse management systems and transportation management systems, even though these systems are much more complex and costly compared to labor management systems. Some businesses are reluctant to invest in LMS because they don't have a large distribution channel or a warehouse, and they have few employees, which is a valid reason. But a lot of businesses have outdated or exaggerated perceptions, which I'll be talking about on the next slide. So these are some of the outdated perceptions of labor management systems and some reasons why it is not very popular among businesses today. And these are according to the article Putting Labor Management Systems to Work by David Frenzel. One of the outdated perceptions is that labor management systems are very expensive to implement. That's not necessarily true these days, because there are plenty of lower priced systems that you can find per the company's needs or requirements. Another is that it requires too much time and effort to collect day-to-day data on employee tasks for the system. This is also not true because companies already have a lot of data from other systems like warehouse management system or transportation management systems, and LMS can be integrated into these systems, which would save a lot of time and effort in collecting data. Another perception is that the company won't have much benefit from the system because they already do a good job on measuring workforce performance. Even these companies can gain or can benefit from LMS because the system helps to identify employees who could use more training to maximize their potential, and it also identifies ways to minimize employees' unproductive times. The last outdated perception is that employees won't like having a labor management system. This may be true initially, but with proper and effective communication, education, and incentives from managers and supervisors, employees will see the benefit of labor management systems and they will learn to like it. So let's talk about the level 3 activities LMS supports on the SCORE model. First of all, I believe that LMS fits into the plan section and the enabled section of the SCORE model. It fits into the plan section because it includes gathering of information, gathering of requirements on available resources, and balancing the requirements and resources to determine the capabilities and gaps, and identifying actions to correct these gaps. And it fits into the enable process or section because the enable section includes performance management, data management, and resource management. Some of the best level 3 activities or processes supported by LMS are SP 1.2, identify, prioritize, and aggregate supply chain resources. 1.3, balance supply chain resources with supply chain requirements. SE 2.3 and 2.5, which are find root causes and develop corrective actions. SE 4.1 and 4.2, which are identifying skills, resource requirements, and identifying the available resource and skill resources. And SE 4.4 and 4.5, which are determining hiring and redeployment, and determining training and education. I've also included the best practices, metrics, people skill and experiences that best support the processes that I just mentioned. The first example of a company using labor management systems is Brooks Sportswear. They are headquartered near Seattle, Washington, and they design and market high-performance running shoes, apparels, and accessories. Brooks Sports operates a 140,000 square feet distribution center. In 2003, they had 35 full-time employees and about 3 to 4 part-time employees on a daily basis. And in 5 years, by 2008, they needed 15 to 20 part-time employees per day on top of the 35 full-time employees to work in their warehouse or distribution center. So in April 2008, they hired LMS to implement a labor management systems. The system went live about 6 months later, and they saw the benefits of the system fairly quickly. The LMS had improved their productivity by 25 to 30%, and this productivity allowed them to decrease the number of part-time employees from 15 to 20 per day to just 1 to 2 per day. And they received payback or return on investment on the LMS within 2 months of the system going live. The second example I have of a company using labor management system is at Taco Bell. Taco Bell is an American fast food chain based out of Irvine, California. They do about 1.5 billion transactions a year from over 6,500 locations worldwide. And they try to complete each transaction within 3 minutes. Their main customers are 18 to 24-year-old males who are just looking for extremely cheap and fast food. The reason they decided to develop a labor management system is to better match employee availability with their demand. They figured out that the 3-hour lunch period generated approximately 52% of their daily sales. Since implementing the system in 1993, the company saved over $40 million by 1996 in labor costs. That's a 3-year period. They also cut their scheduling time from 4 hours to just 1 hour, which helped them gain another $13 million from productivity improvements within that same 3-year period. So here are my discussion questions. It seems like a lot of businesses are still not convinced of the benefits of labor management systems. So since businesses are already purchasing warehouse management systems, do you think that more businesses will purchase labor management system if it's a supplement product that can be purchased with warehouse management system? Another question is, if you manage or owned a labor-intensive business, what would prevent you from implementing labor management systems? And would you feel uncomfortable or against being constantly monitored at work? And if you have any experience using a labor management software, please share your thoughts on whether you liked it or not and why you liked it or you disliked it. Thank you, class, for listening to my presentation on labor management systems. I look forward to reading your comments and critiques on D2L.